You talk about about four things that all children need to know.
Yeah.
And when I say children, that is you and me and
every human.
It's everybody.
Exactly.
So, because we've all been a child if we're not one right now.
Right.
And what are those four things?
So then this is actually where my acronym of STARVED came from. It's actually, again, it didn't come from this research. I just intuited it, and then it paralleled the research perfectly. But there's an entire theory in relationships called attachment theory that is actually now last 10 or 15 years been getting popularized. It's been around for about 30 years. But the guru of it is a woman named Sue Johnson, and she wrote a book called Hold Me Tight. But the basic premise of attachment is the fact that every human being has to learn emotionally how to manage their emotion in a way that they can stay open in relationships. Or if they don't learn to manage it effectively, they learn to either fight or flight in the relationship because our survival instinct starts governing how you relate. The four basic needs are very simply, every human being growing up needs to know they're lovable, that there's not a condition to being loved, you're just loved. You don't need to get a 4.0 or great grades to be loved. You don't need to be an awesome athlete to be loved. You're loved no matter what. You need to know that you are capable, that you don't know everything, but you're able to figure it out. And there's people around you that think you're capable. And you've got to believe you're capable. You've got to believe that you belong to a tribe, that you fit in, and that you have your group, and that you got to know that you're safe. So when you know you're loved, capable, that you belong and you're safe, you can relax in life. You can relax and grow deeper into the bonds of the people you're with. If any of those needs are violated, which they were with me at 8 when my parents divorced, then it starts to put your attachment needs into distress because now they're not certain. And when they're not certain, survival kicks in, your fight or flight turns on, and now I'm either a fighter to know I'm lovable, capable, belonging, and safe, or I'm a flighter and I run from it. So I don't even care. I don't even like people. I don't even want friends. I hate people. Or I become a freezer and I don't know what to do, or I become a pleaser and I do way more than I should. And so fight, flight, freeze, or please become the behaviors that we kick on. And then everything in our relationship is about anytime I feel vulnerable because those needs aren't met, I go to fight or flight. And that creates the number one issue I witnessed with every couple divorcing. They're all in fight or flight, which is why one will chase and one is always running away. And when one's chasing and one's running, it's not going to go anywhere. And if you corner them, this one will come back. Then two people are hitting at each other. And then boom, it explodes. And then we both withdraw. So that's the chase. That's the fight. That's the flight. And some will never fight. They just stay and please and please and please and please until they can't please anymore. And then they run, and then they come back and blow it up. And so that pattern of attachment, the researchers are finding that currently 60% of millennials have a hard time attaching. And by the way, you can tell it right now because for a lot of those people, the world's very unsafe. Everybody's after them. Now I have to manage what you say, how you think about what I say. If you roll your eyes, if there are aggressions or microaggressions, I now have to actively fight to protect it. Some don't actively fight to protect it. They just move on and don't care. Both of those aren't healthy. Eventually, we've got to all be in the same space with each other and have a healthy relationship. So attachment theory, I found, is the number one driving source of most of our conflict, our inability to connect to people. And we're all dying of starvation because we can't be fed.